Hey guys, Mosa here, and today I'm bringing you my Week 13 Friday football game between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, without a further ado, let's get started. Now, let's kick it off with the injury report of the Kansas City Chiefs, starting with kicker Spencer Schrader, I think that's how you say it. Hamstring injury for him, and he's out for the game. Then we move on to linebacker Cam Jones with an illness. He is questionable for this game. Then on to defensive back Chamari Connor with an ankle injury, running back Kareem Hunt with a toe injury, defensive end Charles Emmanuel, I think that's how you say it, with a knee injury, Isaiah Pacheco with an ankle injury, cornerback Christian Roland Wallace with an ankle injury, wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster with a hip injury, and tackle Jawaan Taylor with an ankle injury. Now, when it comes down to it, I in fact believe that the only one of the questionable players, the only one, technically, is Cam Jones, will be indeed playing in this game. Honestly, Schrader not being there is going to be a handful for the Chiefs, but to be honest, this team is probably playing with some black magic or something because they're not stopping their losing streak at all, even though they should have been 5, maybe 4 wins, or maybe even 6 wins, something in that scenario. Like, they have been winning. And realistically, these injuries aren't really going to affect them as much. Most of their players are back, so no issues there. And linebacker Cam Jones will definitely be there for the Chiefs today on Friday. Now, moving on to the offense of the Chiefs, we got Patrick Mahomes at quarterback, running back Isaiah Pacheco, wide receivers DeAndre Hopkins, Xavier Worthy, and Juju Smith-Schuster, tight end Travis Kelce, left tackle, Wanya Morris. Left guard, Joe Thuney. Center, Creed Humphrey. Right guard, Trey Smith. And right tackle, Jawaan Taylor. Now, when it comes to the Chiefs' offense, honestly, they got Isaiah Pacheco back. They've got a good receiver in DeAndre, Xavier. 50-50 with Juju. I think he's a good third receiver out there. And they got Travis Kelce as well, who has not been doing the best this year, but honestly could do something this game against the Raiders. But in the end, Isaiah Pacheco back is a very good thing for the Kansas City Chiefs. They have been dealing with injuries at the running back position, specifically Pacheco. They brought back Kareem Hunt and others. In the end, I think that this is going to be a very good offensive game for the Chiefs, but don't count out the Raiders. The Raiders might pull something out of their you-know-what, and you never know. Anything could really happen. Now, on to the Kansas City Chiefs defense. Starting with defensive ends George Karlaftis and Mike Dana. Defensive tackles Derek Nottie and Chris Jones. Weak side linebacker Drew Tranquill. Inside linebacker Nick Bolton. And strong side linebacker Leo Chenal. Then we got Trent McDuffie and Nazeeh Johnson at corner, with a nickelback being Chamari Connor. And we also have free safety Brian Cook and Justin Reed at strong safety. Now, when it comes down to it, this team's going to have a very fun time on defense, as I think that we're going to be seeing a lot coming from the defensive line. That weak offensive line of the Raiders, I think that will be the death sentence for the Raiders, just like how the offensive line of the Giants yesterday was the same for them. George Karlaftis, Mike Dana, Chris Jones, these guys are getting the quarterback all day long. Aiden O'Connell, you're going to be on the ground. Then you get Drew Tranquill, Leo Chenal, and if they're not blitzing, they're going up against Brock Bowers or whoever other's the tight end for the Raiders. Then you get also Nick Bolton in the middle, watching out for the tight end as well, but also the running back, just like the others. You got that front seven. It's going to be, honestly, crucial of stopping the run of the Raiders. And then you get, obviously, the secondary. Trent McDuffie, Nazeeh Johnson going up against Jakobi Meyers, Trey Tucker, and DJ Turner. These are guys that you really need to stop in this game, because if you don't, Jakobi Meyers might get 50. You get 50 for Turner as well, and Tucker will get maybe some 30, 20 yards receiving in the game, and all of them maybe 1 touchdown in the game. That all depends on how the secondary is going to perform against them. And unless they basically lock those guys down, the Raiders are going to have a pretty fun time potentially giving the Kansas City Chiefs a loss. Now, on to the Raiders injury report, starting with cornerback Nate Hobbs with an ankle injury, and running back Zamir White with a quadricep injury, both out for the game. Then on to running back Alexander Madison with an ankle injury. He is questionable for the game. Then on to tight end Harrison Bryant with an ankle injury. Center Andre James with an ankle injury. Guard Jordan Meredith with a shoulder injury. Quarterback Aiden O'Connell with a thumb injury. Wide receiver Trey Tucker with a hip injury. And center Cody Whitehair with an ankle injury. Now when it comes down to it, I think that the Raiders will definitely have Alexander Madison playing for this game. I don't think he'll miss. I think he'll be a little bit... Honestly, it's going to be a rotational backfield. I think that's what the Raiders are really going to do. But other than that, losing Zamir White is a big loss as well. That was your backup guy. Now you got Amir Abdullah. Then you get Nate Hobbs as well. Losing a top corner is also a very big thing for the Raiders. In the end, I think it's not really going to change the Raiders that much. But honestly, this could injure the Raiders defense more than it could the run game for the Las Vegas Raiders. Now on to the offense of the Las Vegas Raiders, starting with quarterback Aiden O'Connell. Running back Alexander Madison, but if he cannot go, Amir Abdullah will take over. Wide receivers, you got Jacoby Myers, Trey Tucker, and DJ Turner. Then we get tight end Brock Bowers, left tackle Colton Miller, left guard Cody Whitehair, center Andre James, right guard Dylan Parham, right tackle Thayer Munford Jr. Now when it comes to the offensive line, it's a bit weak, specifically on Colton's side. I think Miller's going to have a real tough time on that left side of the field, where they're most likely to put the defensive end. I think it's George Karlaftis on that side. Not George, Mike Dana on that side. Either way, it's going to be a tough time for him, whichever one of them. Same goes for Munford as well. But other than that, the tight end Brock Bowers has been pretty good honestly, for a bad Raiders team, he's been pretty decent. And the receiving core is a pretty decent core as well. The running back crew has been pretty good for the Raiders. And the quarterback situation is still in limbo. So I don't think Aiden O'Connell's the future of the Raiders. That's obvious. So if they get the first overall pick, that's Shedeur Sanders going to be wearing a Raiders jersey the next season. But disregarding that, the Raiders offense is going to be pretty decent. But I think even though they're pretty decent and could potentially outsmart the Kansas City defense, I think they will still have a tough time going up against that defense, especially due to the front seven of the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, on to the Raiders defense. We got defensive ends Max Crosby and Charles Snowden, I think that's how you say it. Defensive tackle John Jenkins and Adam Butler. Weak side linebacker Divine, I think that's how you say it, Diablo. And strong side linebacker Tommy Etchenberg. And with inside linebacker Robert Spillane. Cornerbacks will be Jack Jones and DeCamerion Richardson, with nickelback being Darnay Holmes, free safety Trevon Moehrig, and strong safety Isaiah Pola Mao. I think that's how you say it. And in my opinion, I think that the Raiders defense will do honestly a very decent job against the Chiefs. I think that there's not really that much for the Chiefs when it comes to, honestly, it's realistically the offense of the Chiefs shouldn't be as good, and they haven't. Even Patrick Mahomes have had an honestly worst season in his career. It's still, for some reason, winning them games. Honestly, it's mostly their defense, but that's beside the point. The point being that, honestly, the Raiders have a chance. They got Max Crosby on that defensive line. The linebacking core, not really that sure. The secondary as well, not that sure. But still, as long as they can keep pressure on Mahomes and make him throw interceptions, those are going to be the big plays that the Raiders are going to do to win them this game. But it really all comes down to if they can actually take down Mahomes. Now, in conclusion, I have this game ending in favor of Kansas City 24-18. I think that this game's going to end in that way because the Raiders will fumble the ball in the goal line and it's recovered by the Chiefs in the end zone for a touchback. That's what I think will happen, most likely. And then, honestly, the game ends with a game sealing first down, and that's how the game will end. The Chiefs win, and the Raiders go home with an L. Now, honestly, it could go either ways, to be honest. I think that the Kansas City Chiefs should honestly, and some family members of mine have even said it as well, that the Chiefs are just not good. They're just winning somehow. And I agree. I agree that this team is just winning somehow because there are some games they should have definitely lost this season. Now that was it for this video. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Tweet me any video ideas. Also tell me down in the comments below who do you think will win and who do you think will lose. Tell me down in the comments below. Now like this video if you liked it, subscribe and hit the notification if you want more videos. And I'll see you guys next time.